Have you ever wondered if the Midwest could be the next California or Texas? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into why so many people and businesses are packing up and heading to the heartland of America. From the affordable cost of living to the friendly neighborhoods, the Midwest is becoming a hotspot for young professionals and families alike. Imagine having a great job, owning a home, and still having money left for fun, all without the hustle and bustle of the big cities. Sounds amazing, right? Let's explore how the Midwest is transforming into a new land of opportunity, and why it might just be the perfect place for your next adventure. Stick around, you won't want to miss this. Historical migration patterns. Have you ever thought about why so many folks are moving to the Midwest? Well, let's dive into that. During the Great Depression, people left the South and the Midwest for California in search of work. Then, during World War II, folks headed to cities like Detroit and Los Angeles to support the war effort. Fast forward to today, and we're seeing a big shift in where people are moving across the United States. Texas, New York, and California have always been popular because that's where the jobs were. But now, more and more people and businesses are heading to the Midwest. Why, you ask? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore today. Ready? Let's jump in and see what's driving this new trend. Affordability and cost of living. Hey there, where are you from? I want to know which city you're watching our video from. Please leave a comment so we don't feel lonely. A small action like this will motivate us to make more videos. Thank you, and much love to you. A key reason people are moving to the Midwest is the affordable housing and overall lower cost of living. In bustling places like Texas and California, known for their vibrant economies, housing costs have skyrocketed. California since the 1980s and Texas since about 2000. Unlike these states, the Midwest boasts much more affordable living expenses, with lower housing prices that put less pressure on the household budget. This affordability is especially attractive to young professionals and families who want to establish themselves without the financial strain of high mortgage payments. Comparing housing costs. Across the board, the cost of living in the Midwest is generally 5 to 10% lower than the national average. Housing prices are particularly attractive. For example, the median house price in California was $799,000 in the first quarter of 2023. In New York, it's $531,000, and in Texas, it's $382,000. Compare that to Nebraska, where the median home price is $296,000, and Kansas, which is even cheaper at $282,000. To put it in perspective, a house priced at $799,000 in California would have a monthly mortgage payment of about $4,700. But in Iowa, a comparable house would only cost around $1,400 a month. Of course, these numbers can vary based on the actual house price, mortgage rate, and down payment. But they give you a good idea of the difference in affordability. Quality of life. Quality of life is another key factor driving this migration trend. The Midwest is known for its strong sense of community, with friendly neighborhoods and a slower pace of life. That's just the Midwest for you. While some people enjoy a faster-paced, more exciting lifestyle, I'd bet over half the country prefers the slower, friendlier atmosphere over the chaos and stress of big cities. When you look at studies on mental health and stress, you'll notice that Midwest cities rarely make the list of most stressful places. Cities like Portland, Los Angeles, Seattle, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Miami, Richmond, Virginia, Little Rock, Arkansas, and New York are frequently mentioned instead. So, while you might find more excitement in those places, you're also likely to encounter higher stress and mental health issues. The Midwest offers a more laid-back lifestyle, free from the high-pressure environment of these bustling cities. Diversifying job opportunities. Job opportunities in the Midwest have been expanding, making the region increasingly appealing for those looking to advance their careers. Over the last 10 years, states such as Illinois, Michigan, and Minnesota have put substantial effort into fostering innovation, enhancing education, and boosting research. Their aim is to develop a highly educated workforce to attract tech companies, and this strategy is proving successful. Traditionally, the Midwest's job market focused on manufacturing, government positions, including military and civil service roles, and agriculture. However, today, parts of the Midwest are emerging as technology hubs and healthcare centers, with a notable increase in manufacturing facilities. This growth in new industries is likely to persist for several decades, solidifying the Midwest as a prime location for diverse and evolving career opportunities. Shifting demographics. The demographics of people relocating to the Midwest saw a significant change. Minnesota, Iowa, and Nebraska ranked among the top 10 states attracting millennials and Gen Z. This shift is notable because back in the 1980s and 90s, such a migration was unheard of. During those decades, people typically moved to states like Colorado, Oregon, Washington, Texas, and California, with Miami also being a popular destination. In contrast, mentioning a move to the Midwest, to cities like Des Moines, Iowa, or Wichita, Kansas, was almost seen as a sign of giving up. However, that's no longer the case. Today, the Midwest is attracting younger generations seeking new opportunities and a better quality of life. Remote work and lifestyle preferences. Gen Z and millennials are more financially savvy, understanding the value of a dollar better than many of us who grew up in the 80s and 90s. Back then, living in major metro areas like Los Angeles, New York, San Francisco, and Miami seemed essential. Today, thanks to the internet, you can be anywhere and still stay connected. These younger generations have embraced remote work far more than Gen X and baby boomers, which isn't surprising given their tech savviness. They've realized that you don't need to be in a big city to find good jobs, a stark contrast to the past when major cities were job hubs. This shift has contributed significantly to the changing migration patterns we see today. Tech firms and startups. More and more tech firms are relocating to the Midwest, attracting younger people to the area. Back in 2012, only about 6 to 11% of new startup companies were based in the Midwest. Fast forward to this year, and that number has jumped to between 25 and 30%. Young adults are well aware of this trend and are seizing the opportunity. Think about it. Why work at a tech company in a place where you can't afford to live? Not long ago, people earning between $90,000 and $110,000 in Silicon Valley couldn't even afford to buy a home. Many were struggling to pay rent, often needing 3 or 4 roommates to share the cost. Despite their high salaries, their living conditions were far from ideal. Mark my words, by 2025, we're going to see cities like Des Moines, Wichita, Omaha, Lincoln, or maybe even Peoria emerging as major tech hubs in the Midwest. The region's lower cost of living makes it an attractive option for tech companies and their employees looking for a better quality of life. Political stability. The appeal of political stability is another significant factor drawing people to the Midwest. This region tends to have a more balanced political landscape, which attracts those seeking moderation and less polarization. In today's world, where political tensions are running high, many people crave a more harmonious and united community. We all know how toxic politics can be. Interestingly, while people in the Midwest do care about politics, they often keep their opinions to themselves. As one person put it, it's like their sex lives. They enjoy it, they participate in it, but they don't feel the need to explain it to others or have others explain their own preferences to them. They certainly don't want to be told they're doing it wrong. This more private and balanced approach to politics makes the Midwest an attractive place for those tired of constant political battles and looking for a more peaceful environment. Political engagement. During non-presidential election years, only about 30% of Americans stay engaged with politics, and a mere 11% are those intensely involved live-and-breathe politics types. You know who I'm talking about. They're the ones leaving angry comments on baby shark videos and turning every conversation into a political debate. If you spend too much time on the internet, you might get the impression that the entire country is engulfed in political anger and relentless opinions. However, once you step away from the digital world, you'll notice that political discussions are much less common in everyday life. In the Midwest, people tend to have a more laid-back attitude towards politics. They embody the live and let live philosophy and focus on being good neighbors rather than engaging in heated political arguments. This mindset is part of what makes the Midwest attractive to a growing number of millennials and Gen Z individuals who are weary of constant political noise and division. These younger generations are increasingly looking for places where they can escape the intense political climate and find a more harmonious environment. They prefer communities where people respect differing opinions without making every interaction a battleground. The Midwest's more relaxed and tolerant approach to politics offers a refreshing change for those seeking to live in a less polarized and more supportive community. Moreover, the political landscape in the Midwest tends to be more balanced. This moderation appeals to those who are tired of the extreme partisanship seen in other parts of the country. Studies have shown that people in the Midwest are engaged with politics, but they generally keep their opinions to themselves. One person humorously compared it to their private lives. They enjoy it and participate in it, but don't feel the need to explain it to others or be told how to do it. This more private and balanced approach to politics creates a less contentious atmosphere. making the Midwest an appealing place for those who want to focus on building a peaceful and united community rather than constantly navigating political minefields. In conclusion, the evolving migration patterns toward the Midwest signify a transformation in the American dream. Texas and California have traditionally been the go-to destinations, but now the Midwest is gaining attention as a highly attractive alternative. The region offers affordability, a high quality of life, diverse job opportunities, ample recreational activities, and a stable political climate. Together, these factors create an appealing prospect for those in search of a balanced and sustainable lifestyle. As more individuals and families relocate to the heartland, the Midwest's influence is set to expand, playing a pivotal role in the next chapter of American migration and culture. The shift indicates a broader desire for a more harmonious, community-oriented way of life, away from the high costs and hectic pace of the coastal states. This growing trend highlights the Midwest as a region where people can thrive both personally and professionally, making it an increasingly important player on the national stage. Be kind to each other and embrace the changes that lie ahead.